I do like it, but it wasn't blowing me away. Also, I think when I tasted it the first time and got that hard candy smell or taste, I kind of wanted that to stay, and I was a little disappointed that it didn't.
So you're feeling a little let down.
A little
You're feeling
bit.
a little spiteful.
No, I'm not spiteful. I'm just a little sad. My feelings got hurt a little. Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
And welcome to The First Sip, which is a recurring series that we do where we randomly draw a sample, this one right here, from our First Sip sample pool, at random if I didn't say that already. So not only are we tasting this totally blind, everything in that First Sip pool is something we've never tried before. So there is no familiarity with the product.
Yep.
We have no clue whether we're going to like it or not, how much it costs, if it's hard to find or easy to find. Let's get right into the nose and see what we're working with here.
I'm getting some glue vibes on this one.
Interesting. Okay, so the alcohol is prevalent in this glass, but I can see how that would come across like glue for you. Are you getting anything else on it?
Not yet. What about you?
Yeah. So this smells to me just like a red Jolly Rancher.
Oh.
Like a red, like I don't know, is that watermelon?
I think it's cherry.
Okay, this smells like a mixture of the red and whatever the watermelon Jolly Rancher is.
I think it might be pink.
Okay, that's exactly what this smells like to me.
Interesting.
I put it up to my nose, immediately just boom, that vision popped into my head.
Interesting. I think I'm just getting pretty high alcohol on the smell.
Yeah. As I'm smelling it more, a little bit more of the depth is coming through. It's getting a little syrupy and a little bit of oakiness on there. Ready to get into the palate?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I can see your candy.
Yep, that's what it is.
I can absolutely taste it.
Yeah.
I can taste that for sure.
I honestly don't know if this is a bourbon or a rye. Sometimes I get those hard candy vibes on ryes, and it comes through with a lot of sweetness like that. But this could be like a really fruit-forward bourbon is kind of where I'm leaning with it.
It's got some like, that's not mintiness, but like when I breathe in, it kind of feels like there was like, I just chewed some like spearmint gum.
It does have that effect, especially like as it goes down the throat. Like it is very a cooling sensation.
Good on my throat.
Yeah, it actually kind of does. I want to get into another sip.
I do too.
Let's go.
So I'm getting less candy on the second sip, a little more oak.
And more spice.
And what would spice be? I don't know.
Like I'm getting some spice on the back of the palate.
I'm getting heat. I guess that could be considered spice.
Yeah, it's a little prickly. It is a little bit of heat on the back of the palate. The finish is sticking around. It feels syrupy. It feels rich. It feels oily. It's not super heavy on the palate. Like it's got a little bit of thinness almost.
It's not heavy, but it's sticking around. Like I feel like it's coating.
It lingers for sure.
It doesn't feel heavy, but it coats.
It coats, it sticks around. I'm getting that second sip. I'm more and more feeling like this might be a rye. It's reminding me of a rye, even if it's not. Maybe it's high rye bourbon or something. But what I'm getting out of this glass is some spearmint. I'm actually getting the spearmint on the second sip. Yeah. And then I'm not just the feeling of it, but I'm getting the flavor of spearmint on the second sip. And I'm getting oak. I'm getting a nice barrel spice on the back end.
One up in me.
I'm just saying.
I'm not getting the feeling. I'm getting the flavor.
Okay. Well, let's spend some time with this. Let's get some proper thoughts together while we're not trying to talk to a camera during first impressions. And we'll be right back with our full thoughts in just a second. All right, this one was interesting to spend some time with. What do you think about it after spending a little bit of time with it?
Overall, I thought it was pretty good. I am a little disappointed. The more I sipped it, the less hard candy I was getting and more oak. And it kind of, I was telling you, it made me sad. Yeah. So that's my only kind of womp-womp.
It is what it is. Yeah. I definitely still maintain some of the hard candy on the nose, but this is more and more reminding me of a rye, and a very typical rye at that. Not to say it's not a good rye. It's actually tasting like a very good rye to me, but it's not anything that's blowing me away. I really like the nose. The flavors are just okay. As I sipped it some more, I started getting a little bit more of this piney note.
I was thinking that too, like a pine tree.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I was saying like oak, but I think it was like pine, but I didn't want to say it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's like first front of palate is some serious sweetness, then right in the middle of the tongue, you get the spearmint piney note. And then on the back of the palate, you get a little bit of oak and heat and just kind of lingeringness. But it kind of came down to earth the more we sipped it. And it really isn't blowing me away, although I do like it.
Yeah.
Do you have some ratings for this thing?
I'm going to give it just okay. Like
You're on just okay?
I do like it, but it wasn't blowing me away. Mm-hmm. Also, I think when I tasted it the first time and got that hard candy smell or taste, I kind of wanted that to stay, and I was a little disappointed that it didn't.
So you're feeling a little let down.
A little
You're feeling
bit.
a little spiteful.
No, I'm not spiteful. I'm just a little sad. My feelings got hurt a little.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to say just okay as well. I do think the oiliness and the finish on this thing might lend to it being something special, but the flavors specifically are not something I feel like I would reach for all that often because I'm not big on rye.
Yeah.
If the price is right, I could be moved to a thumbs up though.
And I am
if the price is right.
big on rye. And this one, for some reason, maybe it's because it's my first sip of the day, it's not hitting me like I normally want to.
And you had the candy and then it went away and you're disappointed.
Yeah,
so, okay, let's find out what we've been sipping. Okay. But before that, we got to find out the price and see if that changes our rating or not. So in our first sip sample pool, this is number 93.
All right, so number 93 is $50.
Okay, I would say that price is right. How do you feel about that? Are you still just okay?
I'm still just okay because I don't know if the flavor is everything I want, but I'm not mad at the price. I feel like it's worth $50 to me. It's worth the price they want.
Okay. I would say it's very worth the price. I would almost be inclined to move to a thumbs up just because I feel like for this proof point, which I think it drinks in like just a little over 100 proof.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really pleasant. I bet it would really be great in some cocktails. But the nose and the experience with the oiliness does impress me. I do think it might be worth buying just for that, especially if you're a little bit more keen on rye flavors than I am. But this is one I might buy at $50. Am I going to stay just okay or am I going to go to thumbs up?
I don't know. It's your call.
Oh, man. I am going to stay at just okay, which for us is kind of a take it or leave it. It doesn't mean we don't like it. But when it comes time for us to put up or shut up with our own money and I have to spend $50 on this bottle, I'm not jumping at, I'm not chomping at the bit.
It's like probably won't buy, but not a hard pass.
I might buy it though. Right. I might, but I'm not sold. That would be a thumbs up.
Let's find out what it is.
Let's find out what it is. We are drinking
New Riff Malted Rye.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
It's 100 proof. It says 6 years.
Yeah.
And this is thanks to Joe and Jess Carter.
Thank you, Joe and Jess.
Guys.
So, yes. So here's what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to take this malted rye because this thing comes across sweet. I did detect that it was a rye.
Yeah, you
But
did.
a lot of people talk about how this drinks like a bourbon. Mm-hmm. And it has some of that bourbon sweetness intact. So I'm actually impressed with this. This is a somewhat limited, somewhat hard to find release from New Riff, but it is findable in some markets. It just depends. New Riff isn't everywhere.
Gotcha.
I think for $50 though, I think it's a very fair value. If you like rye, first off, don't buy a rye if you don't like rye.
Yeah.
Probably good advice there. But if you like rye and you like sweetness, then this is something that you probably should think about checking out.
Yeah, but the sweetness for me went away.
Yeah, I think it's still sweet.
Yeah, okay.
It just wasn't super candy sweet like it was right in the beginning.
That's fair.
Kind of came down to earth. But I thought the oiliness and the finish and the mouthfeel, I thought all that, or not the mouthfeel, the oiliness and the finish, how long the finish lingered. Yeah. I thought those were somewhat special experiences, and this is a special release for New Riff. It's not an all the time in stock product.
Gotcha.
And I think it does warrant being a special release for those reasons.
That's all we've got on this bottle today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Like it if you like it. If you're not subscribed, feel free to do that at your leisure. And then also...
You said leisure or leisure?
I said leisure just because I wanted to say leisure.
I say
fancy. Leisure is how I say it, but I was just being cool. But thanks for calling me out on it, bro.
Yeah.
Also, hit the bell icon if you would like to be notified when we post videos and when we have our monthly live streams.
Be good to each other, and until next time, cheers. Man,
that was good.
Syrupy sweet. It's good.
That was good.
You just got your feelings hurt because the sweetness went away.
A little bit. It was just like I wasn't mad. I just got disappointed. That's all,
That's fair.
Just a little disappointed.